Hey everybody, this is a review of the Arex Alpha competition ready 9mm pistol. Now what makes this review special is that I've battle tested this in actual IDPA competitions. I have two of this model of gun, one for backup of course, and put approximately 18,000 live rounds and about 3 times that in dry fire between the two guns. So each gun has at least 9,000 rounds through each and about 25 to 30,000 trigger pulls each. Let's go take it over to the bench and take a look. All right, for those of you not really familiar with the gun, I'll give you the quick rundown. It's a similar design to a SIG. It's an all steel frame, unlike a polymer lower, which is like your Glock or pretty much your mainstream guns. That means it's heavy, so it weighs 42 ounces with the mag in it. The IDPA limit is 43 ounces, so that's important. It's got 5-inch barrel, got your beaver tail, has some factory slide cuts, which is important because you want to lighten the slide, but you can't modify slides for any competition. None of them allow any modifications to slides. You can modify lowers. There's also the extended mag release, which I'll show you. See here, it brings it out a little bit more. It is also reversible. You can take that off and mount it to the other side. High-vis sights. It comes with red. I installed the green. It's personal preference. My eyes pick up the green better. For the grip, the best part is the front. Has some really good stippling on there. It's really tight. Get some calluses on the fingers. Otherwise, the plastic panels, I've had to put skateboard tape on. I really haven't found a gun that I haven't had to add some kind of grip to, whether it's skateboard tape or stipple the plastic myself or do whatever. But as you can see, it does have a little bit of raised spots on there. You just grind them down, glue the skateboard tape down to it. Gets a much better grip in the hand. You got that spot there, so you can get that palm in there and really get a good grip on it. Control your recoil. Like I said, most people I know put some kind of extra grip stuff on their gun, no matter what. So it's not really a thing the factory likes doing. Other than that, it is a double action, single action trigger, which means the very first pull is going to bring the hammer back and until it fires, the gun will cycle. And then for each shot after that, it will be a shorter pull trigger with the hammer back, single action. Okay? Comes with 3 separate trigger springs. They installed the medium with it. I put in the weaker one, of course. It brings it down to about an 8.5 pound double action trigger pull and about 3.5 for the single action. Of course, you got safety. Isn't that fun? The slide release is in a very easy to get to place with your thumb. One of the highlights where I picked this gun is that. It's pretty easy to take down like everything else. Get your takedown lever. There goes the top slide. Got everything in there. Barrel comes out real easy. It's not any kind of unusual design. Get that on there. And there we go, back in action. So what makes this a competition review is how does it stand the test of time with all those rounds through it? Does it stand up to the abuse? Yes, it does. There have been a couple minor issues. I'm going to go over those with you. I'm pretty rare that you find a gun, it's a machine just like anything else, that doesn't have a hitch or two when you put a lot of abuse through it. So, I'll give you the minor things of what happened. One of the things, a couple of things you can cure right away before you even start shooting. The extended mag release button, that screw could be tightened a little bit better from the factory. First one I had, Probably a few weeks into it, screw backed out, lever became, the little add-on button became loose, put a little Loctite on it, tighten it. The second gun, when I got it, I just immediately gave it a little extra torque, never had it loosen up. The second part is here, for the mag release, there is a pin, like a little dowel pin. Now it's not a roll pin like this, it's more of like a dowel pin. And from me constantly working that mag release in dry fire practice, eventually that pin would start to work its way out. I never popped out because I always caught it. So what I did was I pushed it all the way through one way, put some Loctite on it, pushed it through the other way, put the Loctite on that side, centered it, left it overnight. It's never backed out since. Again, the second gun I bought, I did that to it immediately, and it's never had a problem. So I don't know why, but they could put a little Loctite in that from the factory. You can do it yourself. It's real easy, and you'll never have a problem with that. And I mash on that mag release button. Mash it. Another issue I had, and probably the most major issue, was the trigger bar spring here. See that? Whenever you pull the trigger, the spring is working. Well, the trigger bar spring broke on me while I was shooting a club match. I've talked to the manufacturer. They say they start to see it fail around the 10,000 round mark, 10,000 trigger pull mark. And at that time, I had it well beyond that. And as you know, it's a spring. You move it back and forth a lot of times, it's going to wear it out. It's a real simple fix. It's right behind the grip panel. Put a new spring in. They warranty it for you. It's not a problem. I have a couple extra just in case. And then the last thing, the takedown lever. Let me show you. This is the takedown lever. Okay, I had a couple of them break on me, but it was a stress fracture. See how that's kind of the end's broken off there? There should be something on there. Now this just happened. It didn't happen through use. I just went to go clean the gun one day. Hey, that piece is broken off. And they have since, it seems to be just kind of like a stress fracture. The stresses of the gun, it just kind of gives it a nice clean break right there. And if you notice, they have updated it. Let me hold these up. So if you can see, this is the older original style, and this is the newer style. You see how it has a little bit more meat here in that area where it breaks off. It happened to both guns with the original. It doesn't affect function in any way. I could still take down the gun. You move the lever. Instead I had to get a pair of pliers and just move that lever. It's no big deal. Didn't affect anything. Of course I wanted to fix it because I don't want any kind of weird thing to come up when they inspect the gun at a competition. Hey, this is broken. Hey, you're trying to take weight off. That's not the case. It's a simple fix. Slides in and out. It's easy to fix. As I said, it didn't really affect function at all. I didn't notice it until I went to clean it. Could have been broken for weeks for all I know. So, I know it's not the only full steel frame on the market. Let's look at something. Now, this gun wasn't out when I bought mine. It has recently come out. It is the Walther PPQ Q5sf, means steel frame, match gun. So it's going to weigh about the same. As you can see, pretty similar. Sight radius is just a hair bigger on the Q5. Couple things that are different. This is a striker fired gun, so you don't have that double action, single action. But I believe, without doing any trigger work from the factory, that this trigger pull is about 4.5 pounds as opposed to the 3.5 in single action. So what you lose in the double action pull initially, you make up for with the rest. But honestly, as we know, the reset distance, ask any competition guy, ask Jerry Michalek, and he'll tell you what reset. I've never used a reset on a trigger because you're just mashing that trigger. Boom, 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 boom. Second, the differences between the two. This is my friend's gun. He had to add a mag well to it because, as you can see, the mag well here, it's not an extended mag well, but it is pretty aggressive for a stock slim mag well. While the mag well that comes on the Walther is horrendous, and he had to get a mag well extension, and of course with all that, then you have to get base pads, and then the thing was already close to the weight limit, and so he's had to grind out things to make weight on it. As you can see, he's done other grinding things. He says he really mashes this in dry fire, really abuses the gun a lot, and the edging he had to kind of round off because it was digging into his hands. He's got pretty, I don't have the biggest hands. I've got larger than normal size, I would say, and this, it's just, the grip is just a little too small for me. That's why I got the Alpha, is because it's a little bit bigger, fits my whole hands much more comfortably. This with the magwell is kind of pinching my pinky in there, and then, you know, my other hand kind of overlaps. It's not as comfortable. He's had to add to the grip as well with, it's basically sandpaper style, epoxy kind of stuff. He made little things because he would crush his fingers when you're on like this, and he was crushing his fingers, so he made little dimples. I haven't had to do that on mine. I know he did, I think he put different trigger spring in it to lighten it. So that's one modification. Again, this is considered an out-of-the-box competition gun, but I feel that this had to do a few more little minor modifications to make it ready. Plus, the big issue, this is about a $1,400 gun. This is about $400 less than that. So, if there's one little thing you like about one or the other, great. Is it worth the $400? That's up to you. All right, there's one issue I almost forgot about, and that's bore axis and slide weight. So first, the bore axis is the relation of your hand versus the slide. And something that's up higher and more direct with the slide is going to be less in recoil, in theory. And also the weight of the slide. Lighter slide, less recoil, easier management. Okay? So if we look at this, this is the Walther. This has pretty good bore axis. There's a little bit of space there. Pick up the Alpha. Has a little bit more space there. So actually the bore axis is probably slightly better on this. So you would think that would be better recoil, correct? Not necessarily. Let's take a look at the weight. So here we have a Q5 slide, and it actually has an updated guide rod that actually weighs a little bit less than the stock one. So let's see what it weighs. It weighs 18.6 ounces. Okay. Now, let's take a look at the Alpha. Again, all stock. See what it weighs. Oh, look at that. Only 17 ounces. This one weighs less. Thereby, should have better recoil management. So, take that into consideration. And I have one other thing, and the only reason I bring it up is because my buddy who owns the Walther noticed it, that his Walther, the slide area is pretty small. You have this right here and this in the back, and that's what your slide's riding on. That's what's kind of holding it in. While here on the Arex, remember, this is all metal frame. Nice long here. It should stand up to wear and tear better. not get loose. We'll figure that out when we have about 30,000 rounds through it, if it actually makes a difference or not. But there you go. There's another thing why I think the Alpha is a little bit better. When it comes down to it, again, they're both really nice guns. It's, do you want to pay approximately $400 more, or everybody in competition has a backup gun, so you could double that. That's what we want to spend, go for it. And again, I haven't had to add as many accessories, so there's some more accessories. Yeah, see, this is all stock. Looks beautiful. Again, I think this gun is great. It's really holding up well. I haven't had any problems with those minor ones. I haven't had feed flaws. I haven't had, I've had 2 failed to fires, and they've been from bad primers. No lockups. I really can't find any flaw with the gun. If you're looking for the competition ready gun, I believe this is the way to go. So in the end, is this a ready for competition pistol? Absolutely. I was able to go in the IDPA, it was Marksman in August 2018, and through the spring, through match bumps, I was able to get all the way up to Master. This gun definitely helped me do it. Well, thanks for watching my review of the competition out of the box, ready to go Arex Alpha. Please hit the like button. Thank you.